Which part?
My part, my legs.
Ah.
Ito na ba leg day?
Hey, leg day, Very leg day.
Leg day, but otherwise I'm good. I had a
Ah,
great
you
day, and I hope
recover.
that everyone is feeling alive and well and kicking. Happy Family Wednesday, guys. Hashtag Umnantik Basaka. It is good to be home. It's good to be watching the show today because we want to learn more about an organization called Engineers in Action, and we have a very special guest, Anna Yevanovic, who's going to be talking to us about their mandate, some of the impeccable work that they have done in Eswatini in partnership with micro projects. So I feel like it's something that we can learn from, and of course just the impact that it has on our different local communities, because at the end of the day it is about developing our country so that Stofika Nasibu first world class, right? So that's what we'll be talking about today. And of course we do have our entertainment report as per usual that we'll dive into a bit later on, guys. There's been developments with the story that we had yesterday about Denise Zimba, so we are going to be talking about that before the show closes, right? So don't forget to go to Futi if it's someone's birthday, you have a very special friend, your mom's birthday, your dad's birthday, anyone basically, make them feel special by sending a birthday shout out to 7809-2140. And of course we start the show with looking at what the entire world is celebrating or raising awareness about. Today is World Glaucoma Day. Glaucoma.
Yeah.
Yes, Glaucoma Day.
Yeah, it's World Glaucoma Day. It's a group of diseases, eye diseases or infections. Glaucoma, this glaucoma, that. But glaucoma is a group of eye diseases that can lead to the damage of the optic nerve. Optic nerve, optic nerve, light, whatever information, could be stimuli, any kind of stimuli, so naseklimele optic nerve leyo utaba netinkinga letinengi usakhona kubona kahle emehlweni, this vision loss, eye pain, mid dilated pupil, redness of the eye, and nausea. Those are some of the symptoms for tinkhomba eletiba khona nangabe seyilimele leyo optic nerve leyo. So glaucoma again is a group of eye infections or diseases affect kakhulu, as it says lona liso. So let's take good care of our eyes. Sifake wona lawo ma sunglasses, sunshades nabuphumile elangeni waya ngaphandle on a very sunny day to protect your optic nerve, your pupil also nayo ukuthi ingalimali limatwe lona langa. So tinenge banga ukuthi ulimali optic nerve yakho, leading to glaucoma. A group of these eye infections lokufaka ekhathi lomunye angadalwa naso lesifo leso, angakhona ukuthi asithathe kuma kwakhe ubaba wakhe. Lomunye due to accidents uyalimala ke ingoti emgwaqo tinengi, khanze ukuthi siyalimala optic nerve yakho. So make sure that you take good care of yourself, and especially with kids. But again, we need to be mindful of where and how our kids play, the kind of games they play. Yebo ngekhona umlawula kangakanani, but labanye bantfana bayalimala optic nerve at a very young age adlala nabontanga yakhe. So it's important for us to monitor that, take good care of our kids' eyes. It's a very important and special day, World Glaucoma Day. Today is also what is called Working Moms Day, right? The moms are working.
The moms are working. The moms are up to get their bread, guys. We're celebrating moms who do phenomenal work, not just at home and taking care of the babies and taking care of staying on top of homework. We're celebrating the moms that actually do everything. So, some of them, probably have their small businesses. Some of them, have an 8 to 5 type of a job, but we're celebrating them for their evolving work, because we come from a time where, well, I wasn't there obviously, but we have evolved from a time where moms were supposed to be at home taking care of the family, whilst men went out working. Now we're living in a world whereby the roles are probably 50-50, or we're working towards that, I'd like to think, as a globe. So we're celebrating that innovation, and they can chase their dreams, and their dreams are valid still. They go and take care of their families by also bringing home salaries and bread at the end of the day. So I think it's very important to note that it's not easy being a mom in itself, and it's not easy being a working mom. So there's a lot of things that come in between. Most of the time, they'll suffer from exhaustion, they're tired, they can't do everything by themselves. So it's very important that you can extend your gratitude to your mom if you can see that she's doing exceptionally well at home. Wash those dishes, guys. If you're a child and your mom tells you to do something, just do it, because you never know what she's going through. So I feel like we need to be light and soft with our moms because they actually play a vital role. No one can take care of you like your mom. And if you still have a mom, you are blessed indeed, because those people will literally be the pillar of a household. So we're celebrating them today on the show, and we're just saying that their work is seen and they are appreciated.
Yeah, Working Moms Day. The mummies that bring the blue cheese
The
onto
blue
the table.
cheese on
Yeah,
the
blue
table.
cheese.
Yes,
Yeah.
sweetie.
So Working Moms Day. It's a special day indeed, you know. And
Yeah.
then working comes in different forms, you know. Could
Yeah.
be self-employed, could be
Yes.
employed, white collar, blue collar.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, see aba celebrate you know, that are doing the most to put food to the table.
I have a question for you. What do you admire most about your mom?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay, my mom calls me every day.
Yes.
That's one thing that I really cherish.
Yes.
You know, she calls me every day, and kwengalanga kuba ngazuthi nangicalanga bese uyangishayela ngifaka loudspeaker kungaba ngathi ngimgcine last week.
Yeah,
You think
okay.
kade ngamgcina? No,
Yeah.
it's just been maybe a day or two ago.
That's nice.
Agcine kungishayela, you know, there's so many things. Ngatibala ngaqedi, but that's the one thing.
That
You know,
you
sometimes
appreciate more.
ashaya kwenze ukuthi awukagathi nalokuthi utoshaya ngalesi la shaya ngaso. So I really appreciate that.
That's nice,
Yeah,
guys. So
yeah.
appreciate your moms. I think it's very important to take even gratitude with the little things. No, I've overheard their conversation on the phone. She literally
Yes.
talks to her like she's talking to her best friend. So
Yeah,
appreciate your
I've
mom by doing something nice. You can even write a thank you note to your mom to appreciate the phenomenal work that they do. But yeah.
Yeah, and of course ngiyakhumbula ukhala ngakuthiwa ilanga lakho lokuwasha teacher bekwenteke.
Yo, guys, I don't like washing dishes, eh? And we know that moms will always call you out for washing dishes. But I think, you know, they teach you a thing or two. At the end of the day, when you look at it, just like, yeah, I hated doing this. But
Yeah.
when you stay on your own, you know that you must get things done. So that's, yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay, I know they strengthen us, Shem. Kudos
Yeah.
to you moms.
Kudos to
right?
moms, yeah.
Single moms, you know, like all kinds of moms out there. And of course the dads are now so-called moms. They play both roles, mom and dad. But they are working moms, right? And of course, without wasting any time in the golden hour, start with that Emate from the break. Sikhuluma nathi Gule simbonile sixoxela ku social media ukuthi bekaya eBelgium. Sinakuva ukuthi eBelgium kuhambe njani nekuthi kusita ngani kuhamba kwakhe yena eBelgium.
Dive into a thriving and diverse art scene. Simply follow our hosts in Artsy Africa.
Come with me.
6 African cities, so many voices. What attracted me was the large canvas for expression. These artists are reshaping how we see contemporary art. Artsy Africa.
Have a look.
The vibrant series on DW.
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.za. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406-7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Welcome back from the break. Sakubana Luhlelo, Golden Hour. Hashtag Kumnanze Kaya. It is good to be home. Our big brother from another mother went to Europe, specifically Belgium. To be more specific, Brussels, Livre Kulu, Lasse, Belgium. Sifuna kuva ukuthi nathi kule bakayondana eBelgium. Emave angaka la mhlabeni, emave angaka eEurope, uyowendani lapha. Ufike wakhona iniqoma nakafika eEurope, and some of the things that he learned, the culture, the lifestyle of the people in Belgium. So he joins us today on the Golden Hour to talk about that. And what makes me also more interested, about knowing what he's been up to, getting to Belgium, some of the things that you learned there in terms of some of the socio-economic development, points, maybe pointers even that he picked, with some of the conversations and the sessions, training sessions, from different parts of the world and learn from Nati. Good evening, Gunjan. Welcome to the show.
Very good afternoon, and Nokpila. I'm excited to be on the show after just getting back last week.
Hey,
and
fresh from Europe.
Yeah. I'd also like to greet the viewers.
Yeah.
It's good to be back on the Golden Hour.
Yes.
The show with the best set, and you're also looking amazing.
Thank you.
This is an original design?
Yes, it's an original design.
Fantastic.
Yes. It is.
Walakai.
Yeah, Walakai.
Ah, that's good. Support local.
Thank you so much, Nati, for joining us today. I like how you always compliment the show. Beautiful set design and all that. Thank you so much for joining us today. Nati Sigbonile, we're reading different newspapers, print media, social media, and on your page also you're updating some of the things that you've been up to. Namtlas Kuruma specifically about your trip to Europe, to the EU, Hambile waya Belgium. Ufika njani eBelgium?
Wow, it was a wonderful opportunity courtesy of the European External Action Services. So basically they started taking cohorts of journalists from different parts of Africa.
Are you a journalist?
Yes, I'm a freelance journalist.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
also
do.
the chairperson of the Southern African Freelancers Association.
Oh, nice.
So
Thank you for that.
I'm a freelance journalist.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were taking different journalists from around Africa in groups of, say, 14, 15.
Okay.
So it was SADC's turn. And fortunately, the European Union in Eswatini chose me among those that could go and have a familiarization tour of the various EU institutions and also just to know more about the EU-Africa relationship that is going on and what to expect in future. For me, it was exciting because, you've heard of the word Brussels. You've heard of Belgium.
Time and time again.
But you can't picture it. You just can't.
That's the only thing that comes into mind.
Big buildings.
Yeah, skyscrapers and all that. Yeah.
So the interesting thing about Brussels is that it is the heart of Europe. Because it is an administrative sort of capital.
Oh, nice.
So you've got the European Council there. You've got the European Commission there. You've got the EEAS, which is the diplomatic part of the European Union.
Okay.
And the European Parliament is also there. So
Wow,
everything is
huge.
happening there. There's ministers, there's presidents. It's just moving.
From different countries from around Europe, right?
Exactly. I think when
Okay.
I got there, the Prime Minister had been there the previous week with the Foreign Affairs Minister from Eswatini. So that's how much the world is just converging at this place. So I had a lot of expectations about it.
Okay. What were your expectations?
I was expecting a lot of big, tall buildings.
Okay.
Yeah, I was expecting definitely top tier festivals.
Nice.
And it didn't disappoint.
Okay.
But what it also added, what it also added was...
Whoa, what building is that?
That is the European Commission.
Okay.
So yeah, you've got thousands of
I know,
people.
but certain inside.
You've got thousands of people working in there and just working on all these development issues. Do you know that the European Union is the largest development partner of Africa, as well as the largest development partner for Eswatini?
Oh, nice.
So, it would have been in the past with education, agriculture, green energy, so many aspects and programs that have rolled out worth multiple millions. And currently the focus is, of course, social inclusion and human development, and excitedly for me, also youth.
Youth.
Yes. So
It makes it right. Ngoba you happen also to be a youth and communication specialist. So siyafuna nathi sitawungena kancane. Okay, what was this?
Okay, this was a session where we were asked to present on the relations between EU and Africa. So we're divided, somewhere the EU side, somewhere the African side, and we had a mock summit, sort of a hands-on description of your understanding. And here I was leading my group session.
Your understanding of
the EU and Africa relations and how you'd want it to grow and what opportunities are there. So we're presenting to the African delegates to say these are the opportunities. There's something called the Global Gateway that is coming with almost over 100 billion for Africa.
For Africa.
Yeah, to help with digital connectivity, green transition, and so many other fantastic programs.
Okay, so when fair, is it because you're chairman of freelance journalists?
I wish.
You wish.
I do a lot of reporting on the EU as well, and also I am in a project where I would do a bit of capacity building, which will involve capacitating the media as well. And going on a media visit gives you the hands-on approach and lets you know what the EU is all about firsthand. Because, Peter, I'll call you to a workshop, and the first thing you will say is, but have you ever been to the EU? You will ask me that. So it makes for a better understanding, because
and as you report, it makes it easier. You've been there, you've landed there, you've sort of understanding as to how the people they think and all that. So speaking of the people also, now let's get into the lifestyle, the culture of Belgians, right? And what have you learned, in Belgium, just the people there, their, style, maybe level of thinking, It's
brilliant. It's a functional city. It's a well-organized city. The transport system, you're talking of trains being the first mode of transport.
Wow.
And then the second being buses.
Okay.
The third being bicycles.
Wow, we're going green, right?
So you could be right here at the Eswatini TV studio and you want to go to town.
Okay.
You can Uber.
A bike.
A bike. So you go on your app and it tells you that there's actually a bike nearby the park.
Yeah.
Then you go.
So you just walk to the park.
You take the bike and you drop it off at the mall. On the app.
On the app, yeah.
And then the last transport is your feet. They walk a lot. I remember one day we walked 8 kilometers from different points, a total.
Wow.
So yeah.
So walking is their thing. Six pack,
six pack, quick.
Nice. Would you want to go back to Belgium? Given the chance?
Tomorrow morning. Or actually, even after this interview.
Yeah. So, there's so many things that we maybe can also get into now. Mukulmenge, Africa, Eswatini, EU relations. What are people in Belgium, specifically, even people from other countries, what's their opinion about our country? What are some of the exciting things they say, or have seen, about our country?
I think I'll take it in two ways. I'll take it on the professional note, that when I went into the trade session, we had a session on trade, and then there was the EU trade spokesperson, and we could ask questions. And the first thing he said is that Eswatini is among 6 countries that have signed an economic trade agreement with Europe. So for me, well, it was 14 countries there, and I'm among the 6. So I felt like, I'm among the 6
that do well, right?
Yeah,
good relationship.
So that was good.
Yeah.
That was very good to say we're doing well.
Yeah.
And we have a good relationship.
Yeah.
And then secondly, after sessions, I'd go up to the speakers and just, get their contacts. And they'd be like, where are you from? I'd say from Eswatini. And they'd tell me stories of the different heritage sites and
of the country.
Of the country.
Oh,
There's
nice.
a gentleman who came here. He says he traveled all the way from the bottom of the country, hitchhiking.
Okay.
He's an expert now with the EU in Brussels.
Okay.
He went all the way from Hlane. He went to Shewula. He went
hitchhiking.
Hitchhiking.
Wow.
He went to Swazi Candles. He went all the way up to Sibebe, Malolocha, and Ngwenya.
Wow.
Ngwenya class.
Wow.
And he's got pictures to prove on his Facebook.
Wow.
So it was quite nice. You're in a foreign country and someone is showing you your country.
Yeah.
And it was
all
brilliant.
the history, things that you...
And then there's always bushfire everywhere you turn.
Everyone talks about bushfire. Okay.
They're like, oh my God, I wish I could go to Eswatini in May.
They even know the month. Oh, nice.
So that was also made me feel good. And then with the other countries, we had Malawi, Lesotho, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Botswana. It was good. We're all African brothers and sisters, but obviously I was closer to Lesotho.
Okay.
And I was actually, after I came back, I was featured on a radio show on Sky Alpha HD. It's online.
Okay.
We had a podcast going on there.
Wow.
That's how close the relationships with the kingdoms.
Those are the things, right?
And then we also went on X Spaces.
Okay.
And the European ambassador to Lesotho was part of X Spaces. So we're all conversing there, and there were
with the ambassador.
With the ambassador, there were 2 journalists from Lesotho, and then there was me representing Eswatini. So that was also cool.
Nice. This is really big,
And also just hearing the commitment from the EU about how much they really want to strengthen their ties with the different countries, and it was amazing.
Okay, so what's in it for us? You are youth and communication specialist. What's in it for us, the young people? Kuya kwakho lena sitawufunza ini kuwe, what are some of the things, the perks, of your trip?
There's a lot of things. First of all, there's something called Erasmus Plus. It's an education program where you can study sort of an exchange.
Okay.
You can study in Europe, or Europeans can also learn from us.
Okay.
We have not taken much advantage of, so it was part of the things that we were capacitated on to make sure that come the next call for applications, Emaswati are ready.
Yeah.
And we can take as much as we can to Europe. So that was a big take home for me, which the youth is going to go with. Another big take home is that on my very first session, when they were talking about sub-Saharan Africa, I had to ask, what is the EU's view on the youth? And the answer was clear. Nothing for the youth without the youth. We need their participation.
Yeah.
The EU has something called the Youth Sounding Board, where they engage with the youth. In Eswatini, they've got 13
Is
young
it online? Where is it?
It is. You can find it on Facebook.
Okay.
So they've got 13 young Emaswati that the EU engages regularly before it goes on programs or after it goes on programs.
Okay.
It's got a chairperson. It's got thematic areas, including social inclusion, employability. So they come in and they go to different EU projects and give their input. Wow. So nothing is happening in these communities by EU without the input of
the young people.
Of the young people. So that was exciting as well in terms of the support that they get from EU.
Yeah. So now let's get into the food. Did you miss the food? Did you miss our food? Did you miss your food?
Meat. Yeah.
Okay.
Meat,
what are they eating there?
We are eating a lot of fries. So Belgian fries are almost a staple food. The thing you go to Belgium for.
Okay.
And then waffles. They have the best tasting waffles in the entire world.
Because you're saying fries, I'm a bit confused because there's
Potato
French
chips.
fries, there's lamb chips.
These are Belgian fries.
Belgian fries.
Yeah,
okay, I wish to see how they look.
Oh yeah, I hope today they're big. Yeah.
Okay, so they've Belgian fries, which are more like their staple food.
Yeah, and they come with nice sauces. So you've got them on a package, and they've got sauces all around them.
Okay.
So you can dip as you eat.
Nyama good.
Incane man.
Incane nyama. Utenda sa vegetarian or vegan?
Yeah, ngoba nema reps akhona ukhanze rap nema squirrels inside.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But it's healthy. It's good for the
Healthy
skin.
eating. Yeah. Good for, building that six-pack after walking 8 kilometers around town.
I'm coming back better.
Yeah. You look good. So, Nati, thank you so much for joining us today, man. It's been good. And, September, now, my platforms are some of the opportunities that are there, in the EU, to attend even online seminars, sessions, training sessions. But now, lastly, from your trip or excursion, to Belgium, eMaswati likhona lithemba la lelive lokuthi sibe live elithuthukile sisinelphupho le first world status, lithemba likhona in comparison to the other countries.
Definitely, we're on the right track. I felt at home there in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the structure of the city. It does resemble a bit of Mbabane.
Okay.
And in terms of hope, obviously you want a country to be in touch with its developmental aspirations. So when you get to hear from the EU direct to say Eswatini is in line, Eswatini is cooperating,
it's coming up.
and is a good friend, and that gives us, it excites us to know that we are conforming and we are doing the right things, and we will be unlocking a lot more in terms of trade, in terms of developmental assistance. So that made me sleep good at night. And lastly, it was just to encourage people to stay on the European Union website, Eswatini, and also go on to their Facebook page. Just 2 days ago, they posted a call calling for a fully funded EU internship for graduates.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that,
Yeah, so if you're not on those pages and you're only on TikTok and dances,
challenges.
You'll be challenged. Those challenges will challenge you. Then you say there are no opportunities.
Opportunities are there.
Yeah, so we've got shared history with Europe, and they're good friends. So just keep yourself abreast on that. There's good things coming for the media, because also we're being capacitated in the European Union newsroom, and things that you might see in the next few months or so is maybe a bit of capacitation on fact checking, on disinformation,
is
understanding.
a huge topic.
I was shocked when they showed us websites, how a website can be duplicated.
Okay.
And you think you're on the Eswatini TV website.
HTTPS.
You're already okay.
HTTPS.
But they just changed one small thing. So it's still written HTTPS, Eswatini TV. But the TV, maybe it's not the V. It's an H after the T.
Okay. So you need to be mindful of that.
Yeah, so those are the things we would like to see more in terms of media literacy, even for the consumer on the ground, to understand media better and how to consume the right.
Factual, non-factual information, stories also.
Don't be quick to share.
Okay.
Don't be quick to share. Has it appeared on Eswatini TV?
Yeah.
If it has, then
on the screen, then
you can share.
Then you can share.
Yeah, don't just take it from my page and.
Java when dead.
Now you're sharing. Check SABC reported. If not, chances are.
Okay. Nati, it's been good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
Europe, Brussels.
Flag.
Hey, flag as we speak, and it's September. Seminar training sessions because Europe. Right? Europe life. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Well, that is our guest today on the Golden Hour. Ngunati Wagakule, a youth and communication specialist. That's a youth communication specialist. Vele semehlo onke sekabheke kuwe esifuna kuva ukuthi nathi ufike wafunzani, wathathani, watfolani nakafika eveli lase Belgium. So look out for more information maybe, and some of the stuff that we'll be sharing on his social media platform. And of course nathi sitawukhona ukuthi sihle simthinza siva usinathi wendani kuphi nini kanjani. Stamite Mathe Golden Hour. When we come back, we're joined by an amazing lady. Don't go anywhere.
This is my first time here. Hopefully it's my last.
My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors. Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers. Who's in?
We are prefects. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together.
When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
You need to show that new squeak in Mvule.
I hate this school!
I mean, God had to go at me a number of times before I finally swallowed this. Because we just have such a wrong mindset about what God expects out of us. And you know what religion is? Religion is what we think God expects out of us instead of us looking at what he's done for us. We have worth and value not because of what we do, but because Jesus died for us. Because we're no better than anybody else. Anything that we are that in Christ, or we're nothing at all. And I enjoy ministry so much more now. I'm so comfortable, and I love God, and I like myself, and you know, I don't care what you think about that, but I just like myself. You know, I spent enough years hating myself. I'm done with all that. Amen.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna senze ukukhiqiza lokusebenzisa.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. This is Eswatini TV, #Gumnanzig It is good to be home. It's good to be watching the show right now because we want to dive into a topic that is very developmental for, you know, Eswatini. And of course, we have a very special guest. Her name is Anna Jovanovic from Engineer in Action. And of course, they have collaborated with Micro Project, and this has been ongoing for a couple of years now, obviously through the Ministry of Development. And of course, we just want to learn more about, you know, what they actually do in Eswatini, and of course how we have benefited from that, how our local communities have benefited from that. So yes, join me as we have a conversation with Anna. Anna, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I heard you got a Swati name. Where did you get it from? Zinhle.
Yes, I got a Swati name. We usually, when we work with the communities where we build tebe,
okay,
they insist to give us local names.
Okay.
And then we kind of like get the surname of the family that is hosting us. So yeah, I'm Zinhle for people.
Yes.
In our communities. Yeah.
Good to have you on the show, Zinhle.
Thanks for the invitation.
We wanna find out more and learn more about Engineers in Action, what you guys are about, and your mission and mandate.
So we're an American-based NGO,
yes.
And we work currently in 3 countries. In Africa, we're only in Kingdom of Eswatini.
Yes.
But we're actually in Bolivia and Ecuador at the moment.
Okay.
Yes. So we're an engineering organization, and one of our main goals is to bring access to rural communities, whether they're coming through pedestrian footbridges or the water system, any other kind of water health sanitation programs, and so on. So we're a group of individuals. We are a privately funded organization.
Yeah.
I know that that's going to be a question. question.
Yeah.
So we're not affected by the current situation with American National Help.
Yes.
So we're here to stay. I know that everybody wants to know that.
Thank God.
Yeah, and yeah, we've been in Eswatini since 2017.
Yes.
Yeah.
How has the experience been so far?
It was wonderful. We're actually pretty lucky here because since the beginning of the program, we had the chance to get introduced to micro projects through Ministry of Economic Planning and Development. And it was basically like, I don't know, like a brilliant match because micro project has a very similar approach to development of infrastructural projects as engineers in action. So we don't work like for communities, we work with communities.
Yes.
And microproject has very similar agenda. So when we partnered, we just started to work on what we call Tebe Tebe program.
Yes.
Where we build pedestrian footbridges in mostly rural areas. Sometimes we also tackle a little bit of semi-urban and urban. But yeah, it's been mostly rural areas, and so far we have built 28 bridges.
28?
Yes.
That's a large number.
It's a... It can be bigger.
It can be bigger. Oh, okay, private funding, I get it.
Yes.
And I mean, I think it's quite exceptional what you're doing because obviously there's rural areas and then the semi-urban areas like how you've mentioned right now. Can you talk to me about, we've seen some of the projects, can you talk to me about some of the notable ones? The ones that have been like a milestone where there was no access to, you know, easy access to roads and infrastructure?
Well, majority of our projects are pretty much, I wouldn't be able to take one and say, okay, this was the most important one. What we like to say in EIA, like all the bridges are like our kids. And when we decide which project, like where are we going to build, we actually decide based on a very careful selected criteria. And that criteria sometimes is a little bit tough because we also have to look at the mortality rate.
Yes.
How many people die in floods or just trying to cross the river. And trust me, there is a huge need for pedestrian footbridges in the country, and we always try to kind of put the ones with the highest priority to the top. Whereas we're looking at the number of children that are crossing to go to school, we're looking at number of women, the size of the community that is going to be using the bridge, and so on and so forth, like number of injuries, right, and situations like that. So they're all specific on its own way, and they're all very needed, they're all very necessary. But maybe one that I can put out as a very important one is the bridge that we actually haven't built yet.
It's still coming.
It's still coming. It's coming this year, and it is the bridge that is our relief bridge. It is going to be the bridge that we will build in Mkitsini. Yes, after the Convo River floods this January. So what happened is that we went and we kind of like surveyed to see like what were the damages and what was the situation after those big floods at the beginning of January. We saw a lot of infrastructure has been washed off, a lot of communities has been cut off. So we had to kind of like redo our schedule, and obviously with the support of micro projects, we managed to kind of secure the funds and resources for building that Mkitsini bridge, which is supposed to be literally a lifeline for the communities that are currently completely cut off. So that is something that is coming. It's going to be our last build for this year. But yeah, we're all very excited to actually be there for the communities that are in a very, very high needs at the moment.
Definitely. And, you know, just seeing footage of, you know, some of the exceptional work that you guys have been doing so far. Can you tell me more about how you engage, you know, the different local communities? Do they help out when it's, you know, construction time? How do you know, get people involved in, you know, the whole construction and everything that you guys want to do in terms of the infrastructure and the bridges as well?
So what we always try to say before we start engagement with the community is that we are here to bring a solution, but we are not there to bring it, as I mentioned, for community, but to actually build it and bring it with community. For us, it's a very important approach because we are securing the buy-in.
Yeah.
And if we just go to the community and be like, okay, we think that you need a bridge, here is the bridge, we cannot really count on like the approach that in the future, when everything if something goes wrong, if there's like a decking board that is broken, the community is actually going to maintain it.
Okay.
So we start with a simple education about expectations from the community. We form what we call bridge committees, which are made out of at least 10 members from the community. And they're making sure that they are going to secure everything that is needed for these bridges to be built. From the number of people that are going to participate, they have to collect the local materials such as rock and river sand. They're also supposed to provide food for people that are building bridges. Sometimes they also provide accommodation, whether it's for our masons or our international volunteers. And this is how communities actually understand how much work does it take to build an infrastructure like that, and what it takes for it to be properly maintained in future. Right? We have our team, which is led by our community development officer, who goes for, I don't know, like infinite amount of meetings with the communities before we start. Because we also need to make sure that communities are serious about this. Because sometimes they just feel like, okay, it would be great to have a bridge, but they're not like really individually motivated. And that's also the reason why it's a little bit more tough to work in semi-urban and urban areas, because people actually have jobs. And then they can't really participate in the construction. So that's one part. The second part is maybe what we call our national needs assessment, because we actually go and survey around the country and try to understand what is the situation in these places where people don't really, know about. Those are mostly locations that are very off-road, very remote, and then you have 3,000 to 4,000 people living there, working in agricultural fields or, any other kind of like raising like cows and sheep and goats, right? And we have our technical team who is constantly working on understanding what is a need in Eswatini. Like where are these locations? What are these people dealing with? How do their communities look like? How many kids? How many women? How many adults? How many people that need to cross to clinics, to shops, to different kind of institutions, let's say police stations or government buildings. And then the same team also does what we call technical survey. So they need to make sure that the bridge is actually feasible to be built. Because there are different kind of standards that we have to follow. There's a different kind of soil that needs to be there, because these bridges are built to last. I know that sometimes when you look at them, they don't really look that stable until you actually cross for the first time, and then you understand how solid these structures are. We usually talk to communities about minimum 50 years with a good maintenance. So they're bringing long-term solutions for these people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I feel like we haven't even tapped into, I don't want to run out of time before tapping into, water and, clean sanitation when it comes to, accessing water. What have some of the developments been in this initiative that you guys have done so far?
So we have just started our WASH program, 2024. This was the first time where we actually piloted a first potable or clean water system. We have a department that is running WASH, different kind of like projects that we're planning. So last year we have built a clean water system for one primary school. It's called Eswatini. It has 180 students. And basically what we did there is that we're working also with the support of the Ministry of Education and Training. Because they're the ones responsible for drilling the boreholes. So all of the schools that currently have boreholes, and they're usable boreholes, that are actually not collapsed or having any other kind of issues, we're able to survey and understand how to put equipment and how to put like a filtration and sanitation process so the children in school can have clean potable water. So how we survey the need is usually mostly like on a technical side. We try to understand whether there is a borehole. Obviously, if there is, then we try to kind of understand what is the health situation among children and teachers as well. Because some of them are missing school very often because of water poisoning, or they have any other kind of issues caused by unsanitary water.
Yes.
So once when we build in the system, we also train teachers, mostly head teacher or other teachers that are working in these schools, on how to use the chlorine, how often they have to look at the system, like how do they report it, how to clean the solar panel, and so on. So last year it worked really well. We're very, very happy with the result. And this year we're building 2 new water systems for schools.
Okay.
One is in the Lambi and one is in the Waterford.
I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm so proud of how just you are able to articulate the certain words. I'm just like, Zinhle, come on now. Anyway, thank you so much for being here and for, educating us on Engineers in Action and the different, types of projects that you've had in Eswatini, 28 and counting. I'm looking forward to this next big one that you guys have. You said it's going to be the last one that you have. And I think, the appreciation can never, go as far, or we can never extend it, too far as, just Eswatini citizens and just helping out in different communities, because I do actually feel like these are life-changing moments and they make life easier on a day-to-day basis. So thank you for educating us on Engineers in Action, and we wish you nothing but the best in 2025 going forward.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is our wonderful guest today with us, Anna Jovanovic, talking to us rather about, the amazing work that they do in Eswatini in partnership with micro projects. We hope that, if there's, any challenges that you guys have in your different local communities, that Engineers in Action may be given the chance and given, the different specific requirements that you guys need to have, they might just show up in your different rural areas to assist you guys. So yeah, we're just saying a big shout out to Engineers in Action and of course Micro Projects for the phenomenal work that they do. And make sure that you follow them on their social media handles. I'd like to think you have a social media handle, right? Social media handles, make sure you search for Engineers in Action. And yeah, we'll be right back after the break.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba-researche, bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhiqiza lokusembili.
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.sz. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406-7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
Welcome to Eswatini Lifestyle. This is your ultimate guide to the entertainment, to the lifestyle and the culture of Eswatini.
Eswatini Lifestyle. Eswatini Lifestyle.
Eswatini Lifestyle.
From 6:30 to 7 p.m. On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
It is still the golden hour on Eswatini TV. Hashtag Mnanzekaya. It is good to be home. There's great news for aspiring actors and actresses. So there's an introduction of what is called Divine Artist Drama Lab, right? Zeli is doing the most, right? So according to poet and actress Zeli Mdluli, who is the brains behind this program, the initiative will run for 3 months per intake, offering both full-time and part-time courses, right? So the classes will open for students between the ages of 7 and 18 years. So on the first intake, bathi batabe ba hoste Dr. Jerry Mufukeng, renowned South African actor, who comes in as a consultant, plus a few other actors, Labato actor as coaches, during, these classes. So she said the program will focus on developing craft and technique, emotional range, and physical dimension for creative. So the program will also emphasize on the importance of voice, movement, and vivid imagination. So students will learn to act with authenticity and connect deeply with every character they take on. So she added that the program or curriculum has been curated with the help from the Market Theatre in Joburg, Mzansi, right? So those are the great news from Zeli. Drama, Divine Artists Drama Lab. Divine Artists Drama Lab, that's the name of the program. So look out for more information from her social media. Utasitshela ukuthi sesi-apply nini kanjani nani nani.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is something that we need to look forward to, guys, because not so long ago we had a spokesperson or a person from arts and culture telling us about auditions. So now we at least have, the classes, because everyone has been complaining about the fact that Eswatini doesn't have, these types of, schools whereby you can go learn how to be an actress or an actor. So I think it's easier to start, from an early age so that you understand what is expected of you, right? So yeah, right about now it's time for us to take a look at what happened today in history. Nopila.
1930, Mahatma Gandhi initiated his 230-kilometer of salt march to the sea, a symbolic act of civil disobedience against the British monopoly on salt production and taxation in their beautiful country of India.
Right. So also what we're looking at is that in 1993, several bombs exploded in Mumbai, India, killing over 250 people and injuring hundreds more. So an Indian court sentenced 2 men to death for their involvement in the bombings, right? So yeah, that's what we're looking at today in history. And we obviously have birthdays. Common celebrating a birthday today. And yeah, we'd just like to say happy birthday to him.
American singer, songwriter, and dancer, best known as member of the Jackson 5. He's the sixth child of the Jackson family. Marlon Jackson now runs a Study Peace Foundation to promote peace and unity worldwide. So Marlon turns 68. Uputiga Michael.
Right, guys, we've come to the end of our show and we hope that you had a great time with us. We got a gift today on the show, guys. And we're so excited. we come bearing gifts, guys. So we hope that, you had a great time with us. You had a great time just, learning about, engineers in action and the different types of work that they've done in Eswatini so far. I think sometimes we might not be able to do it on our own as a country. So it's very nice to have, people that are coming in, an NGO doing exceptional work in Eswatini. So yeah, we're very excited for that and very excited for, their future endeavors, especially in 2025.
Yeah, and of course, Nati had a nice chat with him. Nati so humble. We are big book Google.
Exactly.
Google, which is, quite amazing also, now from Brussels. We hope that you guys love the show today. Golden Hour. On the last day of the show this week, same time at 5:30 p.m. with a better show. Good night.
Good night.
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.za. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406 7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
The home of the Premier League.
Sitting into the penalty area again. Haaland, it's a tap in. Well back.
The following program is proudly brought to you by Micro Projects, a unit under the Ministry of Economic Planning and Development, in conjunction with the Ministry of Tinkundla and Administration.